Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the cabinet, man. It's the well-seasoned man with the freaking plan to save y'all boys once again, man. Listen, today's topic of the video is haters versus constructive criticism and the difference between the two. You feel me? These two things and these two types of people seem very similar at the very first hand. The very first sight, they seem very similar, but they're actually two completely different people. So if you ever wanted to know the difference between the two, it's okay, because the well-seasoned man is here to save the day. You know what I'm saying? But first, let's get on to the haters. You know, we all know what haters are. Backstabbers, snakes, Uruchimaru for my anime fans out there. You feel me? But they people who don't want to see you winning. They don't want you to succeed at all. They try to do everything in their power to not see you winning. Like, it's their literal, like, it seems like their life goal for you to freaking fall. Like, that junk is crazy, bro. They're jealous of you. They seem envious of you. They want your place. And they will try to do everything in there to try to, you know, like, pull you down from where you at and become your downfall. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I kind of don't like, well, anyone doesn't like haters, it doesn't matter, but one thing that I do point out, that they have a somewhat of a similarity with people who give you constructive criticism, is that they point out your flaws. But here's with the haters point out your flaws, but then once they point them out, the way they give it to you is they clown you for it. You know what I'm saying? They make fun of you. You feel me? They do different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, they'd be like, oh, you like, for example, let's just use me, like videos or whatever, somebody doing videos. Oh, your videos are lame. Oh, they're unrelatable. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Different stuff. Oh, you're never gonna make it. You're not good enough. Blah, blah, blah. Saying all this stuff to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? Which shouldn't. If you're strong up here, you'll keep doing it anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing it for you. You ain't doing it for them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they do different stuff like that. You feel me? And there was this one celebrity. I don't know who. I forgot who it was. I've seen it some time ago. If y'all know, you'll know who I'm talking about, but I'm not sure. But shout out to them, whatever celebrity it was. But they're basically like, they like their fans as well. I mean, they're like their haters as well. They enjoy their haters because they're like fans, because they still clicking on your video. They still getting them views up. You know what I'm saying? They still getting all that for you. The only difference is they just doing it bad, but at the end of the day, they still clicking on your video. So they still help you get into that bag. You feel me? Like, they gotta get on your page. They gotta be active somewhat on your page to know what your flaws are. You know what I'm saying? They gotta be somewhat active. You feel me? So they bringing the views up, bring more money in your pocket. So inadvertently, they're a dub. But it just seemed like an L at first hand. You feel me? And to some people, they're L. But yeah, that's pretty much what a hater is, honestly, which was kind of self-explanatory. Now the real part is the people who give you constructive criticism. Now, people who are very, like, prideful, or the type of people who can dish but can't take, you know what I'm saying? They can give a whole bunch of people different stuff and advice and things like that, but can't take any for themselves, which is a very toxic trait. But for those people out there, they tend to confuse people who giving them constructive criticism for them hating. Well, they don't know what they talking about. They hating, man. They just don't want me to do blah, blah, blah. They don't want me to do this. They don't want me to do that. Different stuff. Well, meanwhile, they really want the best for you. But because that person's so prideful and so like convoluted in their head, they think they hating when they really not. You know what I'm saying? So this video is just kind of help you decipher the difference between the two, so you won't become one of those people. You feel me? And if you are one of those people, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? One of the first steps of improvement is realizing your problem. How you gonna solve the problem if you don't know what the problem is? So the first step is knowing what the problem is. You feel me? So there you go. You got your first step. Now you just need to act upon it to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? But for those who don't know, constructive criticism is kind of self-explanatory. It's criticism. They're criticizing you to construct you in a certain way, and people usually use this term as in for good. I don't ever really hear it for bad, being constructive criticism. But the people who give you constructive criticism, they tend to say what you need to hear, even though you might not want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So it's something you need, but you might not want to hear it, but you definitely need it for what they're saying most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So obviously with them saying that, they want to see you winning. You feel me? They want you to succeed. They want you to get out here and get this bag and become your best self. You feel me? And that's the way of doing it, is finding constructive criticism. Because yes, as a human being, you can find different things about yourself, but you will also need outside parties to tell you flaws that you don't realize in your head, or what you thought was a good flaw. I mean, not a good flaw, what you thought was like a perk was really a flaw to you. You thought it was good, but it really honestly wasn't. You feel me? So you need the third parties to tell you, to see you on the outside point of view, because you can't see yourself on the outside point of view because you're you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So this to kind of help you, you know, track your actions and stuff like that. But certain things that they do is they're not jealous, like how haters are. They're not jealous or envious. And heck, let's just say in the rare case that they are, you feel me? Let's say that they are. They're not finna try to bring you down because they jealous or envious. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's kind of quite the opposite. What they really try to do is you inspire them and you motivate them to do what they doing. Because it's like, if blah 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 can do it, oh, I can do it for sure. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of motivates them and inspire them. It becomes the opposite. Instead of jealous and envy and try to bring you down, you're motivating them and became inspiration. You feel me? But yeah. And also, they try to do everything in their power to help support you. You know what I'm saying? To help know what you're doing, help you keep winning. You feel me? Try to, you know, make you see you winning, man. They right hand mans. They right there, rooting you on the sidelines, telling you to keep going. Don't look at the haters and focus on the goal in mind. You feel me? Water break, real quick. But yeah, other thing about constructive criticism, people who give you constructive criticism, another thing about that is that the similarity that they had with being a hater is that they also point out your flaws. But here's the difference. When they point out their flaws, they don't clown you for them or make fun of you. You feel me? Let's say even if they do, they still do that as like a joking way. They don't do it as a way to bring you down. If they honestly genuinely think it was funny, they might laugh, which make it seem like they're clowning you. But the difference between them is people who give you constructive criticism, they point out your flaws and then they do two things with it. When they point out your flaws, they show you that you're aware of them. They make you aware of them even if you already weren't before, because you need that third party, like I said earlier sometimes. So that helps you point out your flaws so you can realize what they are, number one. And then number two is that they try to help you or give you solutions for that problem that you have. You feel me? They try to give you solutions for that problem, and they try to give you like different advice and stuff. Hey, yeah, I saw on your blah 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 that this happened, and I know people don't really quite like that, so try doing this. Or hey, I don't think that was a good idea to blah 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 blah. You feel me? Constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? And a thing about constructive criticism is when they do that stuff, they try to turn your weaknesses into a strength. And if they can't turn it to a strength, they want to at least not make it a weakness anymore, or not make it your downfall. You feel me? Therefore, you're improving as a human being. You know what I'm saying? That's the main goal of life. Keep improving, keep moving. You learn new things every day as human. It doesn't matter. You learn everything. You learn as much as you can. You could be the smartest man in the world and still learn different things. And you can learn anything from anyone, regardless to age, position, race, anything, bro. It does not matter. Knowledge has no barriers, has no discrimination. You know what I'm saying? But that's a topic for another day. But back onto the constructive criticism is they make those strengths, like I said. And also another thing, what people have to realize is sometimes people who give constructive criticism might not have the perfect approach and delivery with it. So it might come off as offensive or hating vibes, you feel me, when the intentions are the same as any person trying to see you winning, you feel me, but they just don't have the right approach. So what you need to do is kind of, you know, bite your tongue a little bit, like, that was kind of offensive, but I see where you're going with that. That is true, you know. You could check them about it too. You can give them constructive criticism when they're constructive criticizing you. You feel me? You could be like, hey, that was kind of a bad approach. If you would do that with other people, they might seem like you might make them seem like you're a hater when you're really not. They might think you're a hater because of that. So don't use that approach because blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, all right, appreciate that. And then for you, blah, 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 blah. You feel me? Yeah. So you can constructive criticism is a very good thing. That's one of the main things to help you improve as a human being. Reason being is because, like I said earlier, twice already, is that the third parties are very important. Outside point of view, third person point of views, first person. You feel me? Of course, first person is good, and if you're wise and knowledgeable enough, you can find enough flaws to an extent, but you can only do as much as a human. You need more brains and more humans and different things like that to point out flaws that you may not be able to see. You feel me? You'd be like, oh shoot, I do that. Like, you don't realize it because it's so much of a habit and no one's there. For example, let's say you were biting your nails, right? Biting your nails or something, right? You do it all your life. Let's say you're the only human in the world. Bite your nails. It's a bad thing to bite your nails for multiple reasons. But you don't know this because it's just you. So you think it's the norm. But let's say other people come up and you be like, hey bro, you know what happens when you bite your nails? Or different things like that. You'd be like, oh, right. You needed that third person point of view to help you realize that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like to help clear up the fogginess if there was any. You know, one of my goals on all this YouTube stuff is I try to like break down everything to where I can speak it to a brick wall and the brick wall will understand. You feel me? So if y'all got, you know what I'm saying, anything in the comments that I missed, any questions, ideas, YouTube video ideas, anything like that, go ahead, tap it up in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Tap into all my socials and stuff. It's gonna be in the description. My Twitch, everything, you feel me? All in there. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, the cabinet, man. You feel me? This is what we do. But yeah, make sure y'all decipher the difference between haters and constructive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Seems very similar, but are two completely different things. And they have two completely different intentions. You know what I'm saying? One preying on your downfall, the other one preying on your uprising. Gotta know the difference between the two. But alright, bro, that's it for the video. Welcome back to the cabinet. I hope y'all boys enjoyed. I'll see y'all boys on the next one, baby.